Thursday, everyone, and welcome to SUTV News. I'm Hannah Clove.
And I'm Tessa Cheshire.
Students looking for something to do this weekend have the opportunity to watch student-produced production 5 Lesbians Eating a Quiche. Here's Tessa Cheshire with more.
Second Studio, the student-run theater company at Southern Utah University, will be opening the 3rd show in their 2024-2025 season on Thursday, February 20th. 5 Lesbians Eating a Quiche, written by Evan Linder and Andrew Hobgood, is directed by SUU student Leona Lombardi and features a creative team made up entirely of students. 5 Lesbians Eating a Quiche is set in the 1950s and follows the titular lesbian members of the Susan B. Anthony Society for the Sisters of Gertrude Stein when their annual quiche breakfast is threatened by nuclear warfare. Though the show is a comedy, it also features serious commentary about the world.
This show is hilarious. It's such a blast. I think anyone can come and find something to take out of it that is enjoyable, but also the message that we're telling is so important to everything that we're experiencing in the world right now, and I think there's always something to be taken from that.
5 Lesbians Eating a Quiche is a one-act play that features audience participation, something that the cast believes will make the show a good introduction to theater for non-theater goers.
It's just a fun and silly show, and there's lots of wonderful messages, and we worked really hard on it, and I hope people come and laugh and have a wonderful time.
5 Lesbians Eating a Quiche has performances February 20th through 22nd at 7:30 p.m., with an additional matinee the 22nd at 2 p.m. Tickets cost $5 at the door or online, all of which goes to supporting Second Studio. For SUTV News, I'm Tessa Cheshire. Students from SUU organized a protest last week. The students protested anti-DEI laws and budget cuts to college programs. Protesters were seen holding homemade signs with phrases like "Stop the budget cuts" and "We deserve better." Many of the protesters spoke about their experiences as LGBTQ+ individuals and worried for their future without DEI laws. Although it was a peaceful protest, many of the students were angry and are hoping for a response from SUU.
I want to see a response from SUU. I want to see at least a statement acknowledging our presence here and acknowledging that students aren't happy with this. I understand that they're not wholly responsible for the defund in Humanity Social Science, but I would really like some support.
Stay tuned to hear about the film festival happening on SUU's campus and the Public Lands Career and Internship Fair.
This is SUTV, and we will be right back after the break.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Brian.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Yesterday, Southern Utah University held a job fair to help students who are looking for employment find their niche. Our reporter Brooklyn Beard has the scoop.
Each semester, the Career and Internship Fair is put on for students and alumni seeking a full-time job, part-time job, or internship. This fair provides an opportunity to meet potential employers and learn what opportunities are available in Southern Utah. Public lands employers were set as a focus during this event, and various tables were dedicated to the national parks for students interested in working in the great outdoors. Many students showed up with resumes and left with various business cards, information pamphlets, and goodie bags from the companies present in the hopes of a job offer in the near future.
The job that I currently have, I actually got, or I was able to find it at an SUU job fair last semester, and it worked great for my first semester. Just, you know, cards aren't lining up so much this semester, and I would say it's a good tool for a lot of the people here, because there are a lot of different jobs. There are jobs at like national parks, there are jobs in service, and a lot of it is really good for the students. Especially, it's way easier to find a job when there are people that can talk to you and explain the job to you, rather than just going on Indeed or online, ZipRecruiter, trying to look up the different jobs and find something that works for you.
Business recruiter Carl Rostron gave us an inside look to the reasons behind the event.
Well, the goal of this event is kind of twofold. It's first to introduce those that are going to be graduating really soon to potential career opportunities. It's also to link up underclassmen to find out about careers. Lots of times we start in our college career, we don't know where we're going, we may be undecided, or we may pick a major without really knowing a lot about the jobs that are available. And so we want to help underclassmen explore careers, hook them up with employers so that they can ask questions and find out what's going to be available 3 or 4 years from now. I interview, I invite, I network, anything I can do to try to, introduce employers to the great benefits of coming and meeting our students and participating in on-campus events.
For SUTV News, I'm Brooklyn Beard.
It's February again, which means it's time for the annual International Cinema Festival. Here's a closer look at this year's lineup.
SUU is hosting its 8th annual International Cinema Festival this February. It's run by one appointed student and some of the professors in the Languages and Philosophy Department. Films are in French, Spanish, Mandarin, and German and are shown over a 3-week period. Ezra Stein, a student who helped plan this year's festival, said he hopes the movies will open students' minds to something different.
I think it's a good opportunity for them to realize that there's a lot more films out there than what's just immediately accessible. Like if you go looking beyond just films from America.
Films like The Zone of Interest and Petite Maman are in the lineup for the 2025 festival. Some students attend for class assignments, but French professor Elise Leahy hopes those attending appreciate the difference in foreign films.
I think students might find them slow. I find them riveting.
Along with the film screenings, the festival hosted an opening social where movies were introduced beforehand. The first year of the festival, Leahy and Dr. Rosa Perez raised money for the festival after not receiving a grant.
Rosa and I made like $1,600 selling truffles and baguettes on campus.
Now, the festival has grown and includes hosts to introduce each film before its screening. As for the future of the festival, there's no stopping it now.
I just hope they keep getting to do it. It's a lot of fun. I always look forward to what lineup is coming out every year. I'm just excited to see. I hope this becomes a tradition that continues to last.
For SUTV News, I'm Hannah Clove.
That cinema festival looks really fun. You're going after this.
I am going tonight. So tonight is the Zone of Interest, and they have other films. I think it's every Tuesday and Thursday. So there's a couple more next week.
Yeah.
But the Zone of Interest is really interesting. It's a heavier film. It's about the Holocaust.
Wow.
But it's really interesting how they shot it. They did a lot of these scenes with multiple cameras set up in different places.
That's really
So they
interesting.
have a maid walk into the room and serve food, and then she walks into the next room, and we see that, but the cameras are all going at once. So it's really interesting because you get this eerie feeling. But
yeah, well, you'll have to tell me how it is.
I will. Coming up, we will let you know how to plan for the weather in the days ahead.
Stick around. We'll be right back after the break.
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Hope you're having a great Thursday. I'm Caitlin Cowart with the weather. This last week, southern Utah finally got some snow, and skiers are loving it. On Saturday, Bryan Head Ski Resort was packed with skiers and snowboarders alike, finally enjoying the sport for honestly the first time this year. Hundreds of California residents flooded the resort in light of a recent holiday. The snow conditions are decent for this time of year, and the weather yielded warm temperatures with lots of wind. Hopefully with luck, more storms will be on their way. Let's take a look at the forecast for the next week. Today we've got a high of 43 and a low of 20. Looking at the rest of the week, we stay in the 40s and 50s until about Monday, where we reach 63 degrees with a low of 34. In my opinion, that's perfect weather. You can ditch those sweaters for short sleeves, at least for the next Monday and Tuesday. Let's take a look at the radar for the week. There's a little bit of a storm north of us, but it doesn't look too bad and it shouldn't affect your commute. Today is also National Comfy Day and National Muffin Day. Ooh, wrong side. That's your excuse to get comfy and eat a muffin. That's all I got for you today. I'm Caitlin Cowart. Be safe, and have a great weekend, T-Birds.
Thanks, Caitlin. After the break, stay tuned to hear about SUU's basketball and softball teams, as well as a quick look at national sports.
We'll see you soon.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
There you go. Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the family. Yeah! Oh, I thought you were on my team.
Hi, I'm Ben Polish, and this is your favorite part of the day. It's time for SUTV Sports. One of the NBA's newest young superstars, Victor Wembanyama, is now ruled out for the rest of the season with a blood clot in his right shoulder, leaving the San Antonio Spurs without their best player. Standing at 7'5", Wemby is a powerhouse player and was the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year in his second season in the NBA. He'll now miss more than 25 games, making him ineligible for any kind of end-of-season rewards. Last Tuesday, 23rd ranked Kansas University lost to BYU by 34 points. This ties for the worst game in the career of Kansas University's coach, Bill Self. Not only that, it's the first time since the AP poll started in 1948 that Kansas has lost by more than 30 points to an unranked team. This win comes as a surprise both to BYU and Kansas fans. SU men's basketball team is looking for redemption against Abilene Christian University when they play them tonight, February 20th. The tip-off is at 6 p.m. and will be live-streamed on ESPN+. SU women's basketball won against Abilene Christian University yesterday on February 19th. The team is sitting in 7th in the Western Athletic Conference with a 3-game winning streak. Next game is February 27th at Utah Tech. Softball conference play hasn't started, but the SU softball team has been going to tournaments. Their overall is 2-7 from the 2 tournaments they've played so far. This weekend, they are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, playing in the Easton Bama Bash. Their first game is tomorrow, February 21st at 10 a.m. The tournament will not be live streamed, but you can get live updates on the SU Athletics website or on SU Softball's Instagram page. Once again, I'm Ben Polish. Thanks for tuning in to SUTV Sports. Back to Tessa and Hannah.
Thanks, Ben. Coming up next, we'll discuss campus activities at Southern Utah University and the local farmers market.
We'll return in a minute.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Brian.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Big or small, life is a collection of defining moments. And at Southern Utah University, these moments happen all the time. This is where you find your people, where new friends become like family, where you face challenges with confidence, knowing you have a supportive community cheering you on. These moments are more than just memories. They define who you are and who you will become. This is where you soar. See your future at suu.edu.
SU campus is full of diversity, with many students who are part of the International Student Association. Every week on campus, there are events to introduce you to students and cultures from all around the world. One example is the celebration of the Lunar New Year. Students got together to celebrate the Chinese and Korean New Year's in the Student Center, finding it filled with friends, food, and fun decorations. Whether reading their fortune in cookies or trying out new types of candy, everyone had a good time learning how to celebrate the new year. Clubs put on events for many different reasons, but they're always a load of fun. Last week, the Latina Student Alliance put together a Valentine's dance mix and mingle. Students gathered in the ballroom to learn dances, take photos, and of course, have some delicious food. Keep an eye out for more events like these from the International Student Association.
Last week, the staff at SUTVNews finished production on their next edition of the University Journal. The edition, titled P.S. I Love SUU, is a Valentine's-themed journal that is set to hit stands next week. The journal is edited by print editor-in-chief Heather Turner, who has been working with graphic designer Ben Sagers to bring reporters' articles to life. Students can pick up their copies around campus when they're available. Now, the staff at SUTVNews is hard at work on their next edition of the journal.
Every Saturday, Festival City's Farmers Market brings together a vibrant mix of small businesses here in Cedar City. Local vendors and artisans showcase a variety of crafts, food, art, and more. The market offers something for everyone, whether you're looking for homemade jewelry, fresh groceries, or unique decorations. It's the perfect way to support our local community while finding one-of-a-kind items. It runs every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. during the winter months and is located at 100 West Center Street in Cedar City. The market loves to feature local musicians each week, providing entertainment for the community while highlighting the talents of small artists. Josh Brown, one of the market workers, gave us a closer look at what makes the weekly event such a special part of our community.
Festival City's Farmers Market is a farmers market. We try and bring out as many farmer vendors that we can. We obviously have a lot of vendors. We have artisans. We have folks who are selling salsa. We have all sorts of things that are available. But this is where you can get food and you can get items that you can't get anywhere else. That's the benefit of the farmers market.
University Journal is coming out, and this is your first edition as a member of the SU News staff.
It is. I'm excited. I got to interview my cousin and her fiance about their kind of love story and how they ended up at SU, even though that was not what the plan was going to be. So check it out. Make sure you read it.
That's so sweet. I love this edition. Is just like a ton of stories about couples and romance, and it's really fun. This is, I mean, I've written many UJ articles, but I'm really happy about this one. It's about showmances in the theater department.
Oh, that's
which
fun.
is really fun. I got to interview two of my friends who were in a relationship with each other. They met doing a show, and it was really fun to learn like the intricacies of a relationship like that. And I think people are going to enjoy reading about it too.
We'll be back with news about SU's Art Museum SUMA and the Healthy T-Birds Cookie Night that took place this week.
Right here on SUTV.
Someone had fun today. Hey, sweetheart, everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. How's our little guy?
Now I lay me down to sleep.
Looks like I'm stuck working late tonight. Probably won't be home until closer to 8.
Oh, that's okay. I have got a laundry list of emails to send out.
I pray the Lord my soul to keep.
Yeah, he did great. We had so much fun today.
If I die before I wake.
Try over and over.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Valentine's Day might be over, but there's still fun Valentine's activities to be had at SUU. Here's Caitlin Cowart with a closer look.
The living room is a great place to attend student activities throughout the whole year. For February, Healthy T-Birds held a late Valentine's Day cookie decorating night. Students came and decorated heart-shaped cookies with friends while doing challenges and learning about resources on campus. Thought it'd be a fun time for just students to come together and decorate cookies and get to know each other and make new relationships and kind of get to learn what we're about and what we are doing here on campus. Healthy T-Birds and the Health and Wellness Center are great resources for students. They provide services that can help with emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Best of all, their services are free for all students. We focus on students' mental health, but mainly focusing more on the drug and alcohol side of things. So we work with the Health and Wellness Center. They do a lot of the mental health and a lot of helping you find therapy and things. We will focus more on helping you to kind of get over drugs and alcohol and fight addiction and be like a support for you.
You can visit suu.edu/health for more information on the Health and Wellness Center and to see when the next Healthy T-Bird events are. For SUTV, I'm Caitlin Cowart.
Southern Utah Museum of Art is diving into climate and connection with its latest exhibition, Salt Lines. The exhibit uses salt as a lens to explore our relationship with the environment and each other in the face of climate change. Featuring never-seen-before installations, Salt Lines showcases global perspectives on the connection between salt and the human body. The exhibit runs through March 8th with a special artist talk on March 6th, highlighting environmental issues in Utah.
So we have multimedia, installation, audio, poetry, and we have photography of the Great Salt Lake featuring David Mizell, a California-based aerial photographer, kind of renowned aerial photographer, and Alexandra Fuller, who is a Salt Lake-based photographer who made these beautiful salt prints using the salt of the Great Salt Lake. So
if you're interested in art or science, SUMA's Salt Lines is a must-see.
Many students have used the podcast studio on campus to create shows such as Talk Dirty to Me or Sugar and Spice, and now a new show is in the works. Many Moons to Go is a fictional horror podcast currently in development here on campus. It is produced entirely by students, from the writing to the voice acting and creation of the music. The first episode was recorded this past weekend.
Thus far, I've really enjoyed getting to explore voice acting because I do a lot of theatrical acting, and I would like to be open to as many job opportunities as possible, so getting voice acting under my belt has been very useful.
The story follows two college kids and their broadcast here in Cedar as the world ends around them. The first teaser trailer comes out tonight, and the show will begin airing on March 20th. That podcast sounds super fun.
It does sound super exciting. I definitely have to check that out.
I know. It's totally up my alley. I love narrative stuff, and I know that one of my friends is a little bit involved in it, so it's going to be really fun to get to listen to it.
And you also podcast.
I do.
I
do Talk Nerdy to Me, which is so fun. I hope everyone listens to that one too.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the show. To you SU students out there, good luck with your studies this week.
Have a safe and fun winter season. Thanks for tuning in to SUTV. I'm Tessa Cheshire.
And I'm Hannah Clove. With our remaining minutes, we'll be showcasing talented climbers on the rocks of Cougar Cliffs in St. George, shot by one of our photojournalists, Brooklyn Beard.
Bye.